Imagine this. Canada's most important naval contract in decades, submarines that will patrol the Arctic, protect trade routes, and anchor national defense, now has an unexpected frontrunner. Not the United States, not the United Kingdom, but a Norwegian-German team. This isn't just about hardware. It's a signal that Canada is reshaping its alliances, putting Norway's Arctic expertise and Germany's industrial muscle at the center, while Washington watches from the sidelines. Today, we're uncovering why Canada is teaming up with Norway and Germany, and why the U.S. can't stop it. Welcome to GEOCAPITALIST, where we decode global wealth one power shift at a time. In today's video, we're pulling back the curtain on Canada's surprising new alliance with Norway and Germany, a partnership reshaping defense procurement, mineral supply chains, and energy markets. If you want more geopolitical breakdowns like this, make sure to subscribe and let us know in the comments. Is this simply diversification or the beginning of a new North Atlantic order? Canada's submarine replacement program is one of its largest defense procurements ever. The current fleet is aging, expensive to maintain, and ill-suited for the new demands of Arctic patrol. For decades, such contracts almost always landed in American or British shipyards. But now, Canada has shortlisted a Norwegian-German consortium. Norway's role is central. Few nations have as much operational expertise in Arctic waters. Norwegian submarines are designed for icy conditions, long patrols, and seamless NATO integration. That makes them uniquely suited to Canada's northern frontier. For Ottawa, aligning with Norway means more than purchasing machines. It means tapping into real-world Arctic know-how that even Washington struggles to match. The symbolism here is powerful. Canada isn't simply buying equipment, it's choosing who it trusts with its most sensitive defense capabilities. By placing Norway in the spotlight, Ottawa is signaling that it values shared geography and security experience as much as size or power. If Norway provides Arctic expertise, Germany supplies the industrial backbone. German shipyards produce some of the most advanced submarines in the world, equipped with stealth propulsion, cutting-edge sensors, and extended endurance. By teaming up with Norway, Berlin strengthens the offer with unmatched engineering capacity and the ability to deliver on a scale Canada requires. But Germany's value to Ottawa goes far beyond naval technology. Berlin is the anchor of Europe's economic engine, and it is leading the continent's push to secure supply chains for critical minerals. Lithium, nickel, and rare earths, the inputs for electric vehicles, renewable energy, and advanced manufacturing, are Germany's lifeline. And Canada, with its vast mineral reserves, is quickly becoming a preferred partner. Recent agreements between Ottawa and Berlin are more than memorandums of understanding. German capital is flowing into Canadian mining projects, and Canadian rare earth processing facilities are being integrated into European industrial strategies. By embedding Germany into its mineral economy, Canada ensures that its resources are tied to Europe's largest market. When seen alongside the submarine bid, a pattern emerges. Germany is positioning itself as both a defense and industrial partner for Canada. For Ottawa, this diversification dilutes its historical dependence on Washington. For Berlin, it's about insulating its industries from Chinese supply dominance. Canada and Norway share something the U.S. does not: the Arctic. Both nations oversee vast northern territories where icy waters and long distances pose challenges to sovereignty and defense. Submarines here aren't just warships. They are tools of presence, surveillance, and deterrence. By aligning with Norway, Canada taps into a partner that has lived these challenges for decades. Oslo has built its naval doctrine around cold water operations, investing in vessels designed to handle ice, silence, and endurance. For Canada, which often struggles to assert its claims in the Arctic against external pressures, Norwegian expertise is a strategic multiplier. The cooperation goes beyond military needs. Climate change is opening Arctic sea routes that could reshape global shipping. Both Norway and Canada see this as opportunity and risk. Together, they can coordinate patrols, environmental monitoring, and infrastructure development. This synergy strengthens NATO's northern flank and ensures that transatlantic allies, not rivals like Russia or China, set the rules of the Arctic. For Washington, this development is complex. The U.S. insists on the right of passage through Canada's Arctic waters, while Ottawa defends them as internal. At the center of Canada's pivot stands Mark Carney, the former central banker turned political heavyweight. Carney has long argued that Canada's global strategy must integrate defense, economics, and resource diplomacy. The Norwegian-German bid is proof that this vision is being put into practice. Carney frames procurement not as isolated contracts, but as tools of statecraft. Choosing a Norwegian-German team isn't simply about who builds submarines fastest. It's about embedding Canada into a wider industrial and security ecosystem that spans Europe. This approach also reflects Carney's focus on critical minerals as the new oil. By linking mining projects, processing facilities, and infrastructure investments directly to security partnerships, Canada is creating a framework where energy, defense, and industry move together. For Germany, that means access to resources. For Norway, it means Arctic collaboration and energy cooperation. For Canada, it means independence and leverage. The genius of this strategy is in its layering. Submarines come with industrial offsets. Mineral deals come with European financing. LNG discussions come with commitments to digital and port infrastructure. Each thread reinforces the others, building a web of interdependence that cannot easily be broken. For allies in Berlin and Oslo, Carney's vision is attractive. It promises predictability and ambition. For Washington, it is unsettling. Canada's mineral wealth is central to this emerging triangle. Lithium in Ontario, nickel in Manitoba, rare earths in Quebec, all are in demand for the industries of tomorrow. For decades, much of Canada's output flowed south to the U.S., but Europe, led by Germany, is now stepping in as a direct partner. Agreements between Ottawa and Berlin cover everything from exploration to processing and recycling. German companies like Arubis AG are partnering with Canadian firms such as Troilus Gold to establish integrated supply chains for rare earth magnets. These components power electric cars, wind turbines, and advanced defense technologies. For Canada, embedding Germany into its mining sector is a strategic choice. It ensures long-term demand, attracts capital investment, and links Canadian projects to Europe's largest economy. For Germany, it's about reducing dependence on Chinese supply chains that dominate the rare earth market. Norway, though not a mineral superpower, benefits indirectly. As part of Europe's clean energy transition, Oslo has a stake in resilient mineral supply chains. Canadian resources feeding German factories ultimately support Norway's role as an energy supplier. The symbolism matters. Canada is no longer channeling all its resources through Washington. Instead, it is creating transatlantic corridors that bypass U.S. gatekeepers. That independence changes the balance of power. Minerals may be the future, but energy still drives the present. Europe's scramble to replace Russian gas has elevated Norway as the continent's top supplier of natural gas. Canada, while limited by export capacity, is increasingly exploring ways to integrate into this energy lifeline. One option is LNG swaps. Canada supplies Asia, freeing up Norwegian and U.S. gas for Europe. Another is infrastructure investment, where Canadian ports and pipelines could eventually support transatlantic flows. Both ideas reflect a shift in Ottawa's thinking. For years, Canada resisted direct energy exports to Europe. Now, under pressure from allies and opportunity from demand, the conversation is changing. Norway is the linchpin here. Its reliability as an energy supplier has stabilized Europe through crisis. By aligning with Oslo, Canada ties itself to a trusted energy partner whose credibility is unquestioned. Germany, as the industrial consumer, completes the triangle. For Ottawa, the benefits are clear. Diversifying energy partnerships beyond the U.S. reduces vulnerability to trade disputes. For Berlin and Oslo, Canada brings political stability and abundant reserves, even if they take time to mobilize. Energy isn't just a commodity, it's a bond. Submarines secure the Arctic, minerals fuel the factories, and gas keeps the lights on. For Washington, this new triangle is uncomfortable. For decades, the U.S. assumed Canada would source defense equipment, export resources, and align policy southward. Submarines from American suppliers, minerals feeding American industries, energy tied to American pipelines. Today, that assumption is breaking down. By shortlisting a Norwegian-German bid, Canada has crossed a psychological threshold. Defense procurement is one of the most sensitive areas of sovereignty. To look beyond U.S. suppliers is to assert independence in an area long dominated by Washington. Pair that with German mineral deals and Norwegian energy swaps, and the trend is unmistakable. Canada is diversifying away from U.S. reliance. This isn't disloyalty. Canada remains a NATO ally. But it is independence. Ottawa is signaling that it will no longer be confined to one orbit. For U.S. policymakers, that's a problem. If Canada can build transatlantic supply chains without American mediation, what stops others from doing the same? Some in Washington may dismiss this as marginal, but others will see the precedent. Canada is proving that even a country deeply tied to the U.S. can carve out space for autonomy. For Ottawa, this is exactly the point. Independence doesn't mean abandoning the U.S. It means creating options, and in geopolitics, options are power. Looking ahead, the Canada-Norway-Germany triangle could reshape the North Atlantic. Submarines bind defense, minerals link industry, energy ties keep economies running. Together, they form a resilient bloc that stretches from the Arctic to the Rhine. For NATO, this deepens integration. Canadian submarines aligned with Norwegian experience and German technology would enhance interoperability. For Europe, it secures access to resources and energy outside of U.S. mediation. For Canada, it cements its role as more than a junior partner, as a bridge across the Atlantic. The implications extend to markets and citizens. Investors see opportunities in mining projects, energy terminals, and defense contracts. Communities see jobs, infrastructure, and the prestige of being at the center of global supply chains. For Washington, the message is clear. Canada is not breaking away, but it is breaking free. It is proving that loyalty to NATO does not mean dependency on America. That distinction is subtle but profound. If you found this breakdown valuable, watch our next video. It connects directly to what's unfolding. And don't forget to subscribe. Your support helps us decode these global shifts without compromise. Let us know in the comments, is this simply diversification or the start of a new North Atlantic order? Either way, the world is watching. This was GeoCapitalist, where we decode global wealth, one power shift at a time. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.